Have you ever had a moment so coincidental that it left you stunned? Imagine you're thinking about an old friend, someone you haven't spoken to in years, and then, out of the blue, they call you that very day. What if these moments are more than just coincidences? Today, we're diving into the intriguing world of synchronicity. What if these surprising connections in our lives are signs, messages meant to guide or teach us something? Let's explore together what synchronicity is and what it might mean for you. Synchronicity is a concept first introduced by psychologist Carl Jung that refers to events that are not just coincidences, but are meaningful occurrences that happen with no causal relationship, yet seem to be meaningfully related. Jung believed these synchronicities appear in our lives to bring us messages from the unconscious, often at moments of personal transformation or crisis. Whether you're feeling lost, seeking answers, or simply curious, understanding synchronicity can open doors to new insights about your life and your path. Today, we'll take a closer look at this fascinating phenomenon. We'll learn how to recognize when synchronicity is at play and consider what these moments might be trying to tell us. So keep an open mind, and let's get started on this journey of discovery. Synchronicity is a term that might sound complex, but it's actually quite simple when you break it down. It was coined by Carl Jung, a Swiss psychologist, who used it to describe those moments in life that are too coincidental to just be random, yet they have no clear cause or reason behind them. According to Jung, synchronicity is the coming together of inner and outer events in a way that is meaningful to the observer, and somehow it defies ordinary explanations. For example, you might be reading a book about a rare bird and then suddenly see that exact bird the next day. This isn't just a coincidence, according to the theory of synchronicity. It's a meaningful connection between your inner thoughts and the outer world. Jung introduced this concept as a counterbalance to the strictly causal explanations of science. He believed that our lives are not just a series of random events, but are filled with patterns and connections that, if noticed, can guide us or help us understand our own psychological state better. Synchronicity doesn't work like cause and effect, where one thing directly leads to another. Instead, it works through meaning. Two or more events connect through their meaning, not through direct causation. This idea might seem a bit mysterious or even spiritual, and it certainly opens up a lot of room for personal interpretation and wonder. In essence, synchronicity challenges us to see life not just as a random series of events, but as a canvas where meanings and connections are waiting to be discovered. As we delve deeper into this topic, think about the moments in your own life that seem too timely to be mere coincidences. These could very well be examples of synchronicity. Now that we understand what synchronicity is, let's explore some common examples that might have occurred in your own life. Synchronicity can appear in many forms, and often it's the simplest events that feel the most profound. For instance, have you ever thought about a song only to hear it play on the radio moments later? Or perhaps you were considering taking a trip to a particular place, and then, out of nowhere, someone offers you a free ticket to that exact destination. These instances are classic examples of synchronicity at work. Another common experience is running into someone who can offer help or advice on a problem you've been wrestling with, exactly at the moment when you need it the most. Maybe you were struggling with a decision at work and bumped into an old friend who just happened to have faced a similar choice recently. Or you lost something important, and someone you've never met before finds it and returns it to you just in time. These moments are often brushed off as mere coincidences, but when you look at them through the lens of synchronicity, they might appear as little nudges from the universe, guiding us or affirming our thoughts and decisions. Start noticing when these little coincidences happen. You might be surprised at how often they occur, especially when you're paying attention. Recognizing synchronicity can be quite intriguing. It's all about spotting those unique moments when things align a little too perfectly. To start, it's important to understand the difference between a mere coincidence and synchronicity. A coincidence might seem accidental, like bumping into a friend in a random place. However, synchronicity carries a deeper meaning or relevance to your life, especially at that specific time. It often feels like the universe is aligning things just for you. For example, if you've been thinking about changing your job and you receive an unexpected job offer, that's synchronicity. Or if you've been worrying about a health issue and suddenly come across a book or an article offering the exact information you needed, that's not just luck. It's synchronicity. These events are characterized by their timing and the significance they hold in your current life circumstances. To better recognize these moments, pay close attention to your intuition and feelings. Synchronicity often resonates on an emotional level. It feels significant or impactful. Start by reflecting on past events where you experienced a gut feeling that something was more than a coincidence. Keeping a journal can also help, as writing down these events can reveal patterns over time that you might not notice otherwise. By tuning into your surroundings and being mindful of these occurrences, you gradually become more receptive to the synchronicities around you. Remember, the key to recognizing synchronicity is not just in observing the events, but in feeling their significance and contemplating what they might mean in the broader context of your life. Understanding the psychological significance of synchronicity can be quite profound. Carl Jung believed that these meaningful coincidences are a manifestation of the collective unconscious, essentially a shared pool of memories and experiences present in all of us. When synchronicity occurs, it might be the unconscious mind communicating something important to our conscious self. This might be a clue to resolve an ongoing conflict or a push towards a path we are meant to follow. For instance, if you've been feeling stuck in your career and you keep meeting people from a particular industry that fascinates you, this could be synchronicity at play. Jung would suggest that this isn't just happenstance. Instead, it's a sign that your deeper self is guiding you towards a change that aligns with your true interests and potential. These synchronistic events can often highlight areas of our lives that need attention or transformation. They can also appear during times of personal crisis, providing comfort or a possible solution when it's most needed. By paying attention to these signals, we can gain insights into our desires, fears, and the parts of our life that we might be ignoring. Reflecting on these experiences can lead to greater self-awareness and personal growth. It allows us to consider not just the logical or obvious paths in life, but also the more intuitive and perhaps spiritually aligned routes. So next time you encounter a synchronicity, take a moment to consider what it might be revealing about your psychological state and the potential paths forward. Synchronicity is not only a psychological concept, but also holds significant spiritual meaning for many people. Different spiritual traditions view synchronicity as a form of guidance from the universe, or as messages from a higher power. It's often seen as a sign that you are on the right path, or that the universe is affirming your decisions. This can be incredibly reassuring, especially during times of uncertainty or change. For example, in many Eastern philosophies, Synchronicity is considered a manifestation of divine timing, aligning events perfectly to deliver a message or lesson when it's most needed. These moments are thought to help us connect with our higher self or purpose, guiding us towards our ultimate destiny. From a more Western spiritual viewpoint, some believe that synchronicity is a way for guardian angels or spiritual guides to communicate with us, offering comfort, warnings, or confirmation of our intuitions. When you think of something deeply and then see unmistakable signs or symbols that relate to that thought, it could be considered a form of spiritual messaging, indicating that you are not alone and that your thoughts are heard. Regardless of your personal beliefs, embracing the idea of synchronicity can lead to a more reflective life stance, encouraging you to look for deeper meanings in everyday occurrences. This can enhance your spiritual journey, making you more attuned to the subtle yet profound connections between the spiritual world and your daily life. Consider the moments of synchronicity as invitations to pause, reflect, and perhaps redirect your path in more aligned ways with your spiritual beliefs. While synchronicity holds deep psychological and spiritual significance for many, it's also a topic of interest from a scientific perspective. Scientists, particularly those in the fields of psychology and neuroscience, often look at synchronicity through the lens of probability and cognitive biases. From this viewpoint, what might seem like meaningful coincidences are often explained as the human tendency to seek patterns and connections in random data, a concept known as apophenia. Researchers in these fields argue that our brains are wired to make sense of the world through patterns, and this can sometimes lead us to interpret coincidental events as deeply significant when they might not be. For instance, if you frequently notice the number 1111 on clocks, scientific thinking might suggest this is due to confirmation bias, where you are more likely to notice and remember times when you see 1111 because you've assigned it a special significance. However, this doesn't necessarily diminish the value of synchronistic events for individuals. Even from a scientific standpoint, recognizing patterns and connections can play a positive role in one's life by providing psychological comfort or motivating positive changes. For example, believing that meeting a new person was meant to be might encourage someone to pursue a new friendship or opportunity that they might have otherwise overlooked. In summary, while science may not fully endorse the idea of synchronicity as a supernatural or mystical occurrence, it recognizes the powerful effects that such perceptions can have on our psychological well-being and decision-making processes. So, whether you view synchronicity as a meaningful coincidence or a trick of the mind, there is value in how these perceptions shape our lives and choices. Understanding synchronicity can have profound implications for how we navigate our daily lives. Recognizing these meaningful coincidences can encourage us to make decisions that feel more aligned with our personal goals and values. For example, if you're contemplating a job change and you suddenly encounter an old friend who offers you a new opportunity, this could be seen as a synchronistic event guiding your career path. These moments can also serve as reassurances during times of doubt or decision-making. They can provide a sense of direction or validation when we're unsure about our choices. For instance, seeing repeated messages that relate to a decision you are pondering may give you the confidence to finally act. This could be as simple as repeatedly hearing about a certain place you've considered visiting and taking that as a sign to book your travel. Furthermore, paying attention to synchronicity can enhance our relationships. When we experience synchronicity involving others, it might indicate that our connection with them is significant on a deeper level. This could encourage us to invest more in those relationships, deepening bonds that are both meaningful and rewarding. Finally, acknowledging synchronicity can increase our openness to new experiences. By being receptive to these signs, we may find ourselves exploring paths we had not considered before, leading to personal growth and unexpected opportunities. It invites us to be curious and adventurous, stepping out of our comfort zones with the reassurance that we are following a meaningful path. Inviting more synchronicity into your life starts with awareness and openness. To become more attuned to these meaningful coincidences, the first step is to cultivate a mindful attitude. Being present in the moment allows you to observe the subtleties and details of your surroundings, where signs often manifest. Practicing mindfulness can be as simple as paying attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment as you go about your day. Next, consider keeping a synchronicity journal. By writing down instances where you notice peculiar coincidences, you begin to see patterns and connections that might otherwise go unnoticed. This can reinforce your belief in synchronicity and increase your sensitivity to future occurrences. It's also a powerful tool for reflection, helping you to understand the context and significance of these events over time. Additionally, embracing uncertainty can lead to more synchronistic experiences. Often when we let go of our need for control and open ourselves to the unknown, we allow more room for the universe to work in mysterious ways. This doesn't mean making decisions randomly, but rather being open to the possibilities that lie beyond your current plans and understanding. Finally, ask questions and remain curious. When you encounter potential synchronicities, ask yourself what they might mean, explore their significance, and consider how they might be guiding you. This active engagement with your experiences helps cultivate a mindset that is receptive to more synchronicity. Remember that these meaningful coincidences are more than just random events. They can be profound messages that guide, affirm, or challenge us in our life's journey. Whether viewed through a psychological, spiritual, or scientific lens, synchronicity invites us to look deeper into our experiences and to find the interconnectedness of our internal thoughts with the external world. Take a moment to reflect on the synchronicities you've experienced. Consider their timing and significance in your life. Could they be offering insights or pointing you towards paths you hadn't considered? As you become more aware of these events, you might find yourself more in tune with the rhythms of your life and the universe. Encourage yourself to stay open and curious. Pay attention to the world around you and the subtle signs that come your way. These synchronistic moments are there to enrich your life, offering you clues and directions that might just lead to a fuller, more connected existence. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the fascinating world of synchronicity. Keep observing, keep reflecting,